Yo, yo, yo. It's your boy King Marko in the building. Here to give y'all some game. Want y'all to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Follow me on IG, follow me on Twitter. King's Court coming soon. Let's get into it. Well, Kendrick Lamar is dropping his new album called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. It's going to be his last album on Top Dog Entertainment. It's going to be his first album in 5 years. Okay. Now, from my understanding, he's going to be moving on to another situation where he's doing his own imprint label called PG Lane. He's going to do that with him and his business partner. And in my guesstimation regarding this situation, if I'm Kendrick Lamar, I'm going to have this album set up my new artist that's on PG Lane, because I'm sure he's going to sign new artists to this imprint label who is being distributed to. I'm not sure, but whoever it is, he's going to try and add new artists. So if he's smart, he's probably going to add some artists to this album to start their careers. He's probably still have those other guys on Top Dog Entertainment and everything. So he'll probably have the Top Dog Entertainment rosters on there, and he'll probably have some of the new artists that's going to be on his record label. Now, in regards to how the album is going to sound, it's probably going to be a Kendrick Lamar album. It's going to be a different sounding album that you don't normally hear from other artists. So, my personal opinion, I think it's going to be a pretty good album, especially because Kendrick is a true artist. Kendrick, he doesn't drop very often, but when he drops, he gives you quality music. So this will be no different. And he's a true artist. You don't hear from him all the time. Guys have dropped 3-4 albums within a 5 year span. He's only dropped one album. Not saying that he doesn't have much material, but I think for him as an artist, he doesn't want to saturate the market with his music, which is good. You know what I'm saying? I would like more artists to do that. I would like for more artists to, take a little bit of time, to drop their albums as opposed to just dropping the album once a year. Me personally, I rather see more artists, take their time with their albums. He makes real studio albums, whereas most artists they just put a collection of songs together and just say this is an album. He makes a real album. So Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is probably going to be the same as all the other ones. It's going to be a nice quality project. But for this project, I would like for him to set up his other artists that's going to be on his own record company and get their career started. He should make it not necessarily like a compilation, but he's got to put them in certain spots that's going to broadcast the new artist, the new wave of what he's trying to do. That's what I would do. As far as the quality of his album, I think it's going to be a pretty good album. It took 5 years to do it, and I think that with him, he's probably very meticulous on how his album wants to sound, and I think that it's going to be a pretty good album. It needs to be a good album. Actually, this actually needs to be his best work. To be honest with you, if he wants to maximize the amount of money that he's going to get for his record company, because if he drops a classic album, if he drops an album, the best album that he's ever done, kind of like Jay-Z with the Black Album, if you drop an album like that, a classic album that's just, that can't be denied, to where it's getting a whole bunch of, nominations for Grammys and everything, it will set up his new company, PG Lane, up for a very good start. And record companies are going to be distribution companies will be salivating, at the mouth, trying to get him to sign to them. But me personally, I think that Kendrick Lamar is probably gonna re-sign with Universal. Universal is probably gonna re-sign him to a distribution deal, to where he gets a bigger percentage of the revenue for his albums, and also the other artists that's gonna be on his record company. That's what I would do. So this album has to go. This actually is probably the biggest one that he has to do. He has to have a classic album. He cannot put out a garbage album right now. Not right now. It's too much money riding on the line for this. He got a lot of different things because you gotta understand. You have to understand with all the albums that he's dropped before, you know, with all the albums that he's dropped before, he hasn't made a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of money off the albums, but he hasn't though, because you got Top Dog, you got Dr. Dre, you got Jimmy Iovine, then you got Universal, and then you got Kendrick Lamar. That's a lot of people eating off of Kendrick Lamar album. It's a lot of different people eating off that album. So this album has to go if he wants to really, really make some money on the future. It has to go because these guys right here, right now, are eating up the other albums. It's eating up the Pimp a Butterfly and Damn and Good Kid, Mad City, and all those, now and this one too, because this one's on Top Dog, Universal, Interscope. Okay, so therefore he has to have a great album here. He cannot put out like a greatest hits album or a collection of songs to where he did like 3, 4, 5 years ago. He can't have those. He gotta have he gotta have a great album here. That's my suggestion for this album. That's what I would do. Make sure that this album is better than the first album. He has to have that. If he gets that, then the sky's the limit for him. That's what I will say, and he'll be able to get any kind of budget that he wants. Whenever he decides that he wants to put out a certain artist, they ain't gonna give him no lip about it. They just gonna give him the money and let him do it. But this album has to go. That's what I would say about this about Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But overall, I think it will go because I think he's a true artist. And true artists like him, they take good care of their work. That's what I would say. They take very good care of their work. And they make sure that they put out a quality project, especially if you haven't heard from them in 5 years. That's my suggestion. Moving forward, I want y'all to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow me on IG, follow me on Twitter. It's King Boy, King Marko signing out.